Hey, look at that. We're live. It is Sunday. I always have to look at the date. Sunday, October 28th. Wow, October is almost over. 2018. Yep. I'm Ben. It's a subscriber hangout right here on this channel. I've got, looking at my left to right, I don't know what order it is on your screen because it seems to be different for everybody. We got Terry, moderator and ambassador of YouTube. Terry's GG&G in the house. We've got... the wrench. Terry the wrench. Next to him, we have the guitar pit, Chris. Good to see you, Chris. Putting out all kinds of awesome content. And the other guy you may not recognize, I don't know if he's done a hangout before, but you know his name in various chats all across the universe and around the world, Mr. Todd Flowers himself.
Hello.
Awesome, awesome. We got a bunch of people jumping in the chat here. Let's see. I'm just going to quickly do a roll call here. You guys know the routine. I introduce and then immediately to the chat. So we've got Soda Pop in the house. Awesome. He says, wait, I only see one troll. Talking to himself. Always nice. We've got Mr. Michael Bishop out of Indy. We got the Guitar Hack out of Toronto. We got JP Page 2. We got Scott Nickerson from Edmonton. We got David Ennis, I want to say from Missouri. We've got Quentin James from the Louisville area. Man, how I know where all these people are.
How do you know where these people are from?
Yeah. I really fact check all my subscribers. We have Jeff Ripplinger. We got Groovy Ghoulie. We got ET5150. We got Adam EVH. We got Paul Liu, Brian Cote, Matthew Stewart. Wow. Janice is in the house. Mitch Heyman, Paul Millard, Fender Guru, Frank C. Woo. All right. I think I'm caught up. Welcome one. Welcome all. We got 28 people watching already. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That's sweet. Hey, guys.
Awesome. So if you guys have any photographic memory, I have the opposite of a photographic memory, Mitch. Just based off lifestyle alone. I'll tell you that right now.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. So that's a nice compliment.
Maybe he has like a spreadsheet on the wall.
Yeah. You don't see behind the camera. I've got a map of the world with all these push pins of various subscribers.
Fender Guru's asking who the panel is again, Ben.
The panel again is Terry's GG&G, the Guitar Pit, and Todd, the man himself, Flowers. Blackie DH is in the house. Hey, Blackie.
Jimmy T.
Jimmy T.
The Guitar Pit. Hey!
I'm there. Oh, man. I last stream I was on, I realized I don't think I glanced at the chat once. So this time I'm going to make a very honest effort to keep an eye on it.
Hey, Johnny Bean. Guitar Girl KB.
Hey. What's up?
Fender Guru asks, who's Todd? So Todd, say hey to Fender Guru.
Fender Guru, I think I talked to you last night in the chat about Australian things.
Awesome. So yeah,
I don't know on that. I've talked to him a few times in the chats.
Okay, so Janice is out of Stamford, Connecticut. We'll file that away.
For those that are wondering who Todd is, it's Todd Flowers.
Hey, Caesar.
Todd Flowers.
Yeah.
Soda Pop thought Guitar Pick just didn't like you. From ignoring the chat. Yes, and Fender Guru is a Kiwi. That's right, Vox Amps.
Yes. Cesar has joined us.
Yeah.
Hello, Cesar.
Oh, awesome. Oh, yeah.
Yes, so if you guys have got any topics to discuss tonight, I know we have at one point we're going to do, what were we calling that, Todd? Not a debate, not a contest, a poll question. That's it.
Yeah.
Survey says.
See, I know where everybody lives, but I can't talk.
It's that photograph.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Plaque of coffee.
Hey, Irvin Gaunt, tuning in from, I believe, Guelph, Ontario.
So Ben, if if and when you go to NAMM, what is the booth you're looking forward to seeing the most? Or I'll take top 3, maybe something like that.
Okay. Well, Friedman Amps, because they have a bar. You know, not for the equipment, not for Dave himself, but
Right.
you know, they have a bar.
The bar
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
awesome.
Let me think. That's a good question. You know what? I'm curious to see Gibson's booth, assuming that they're going to be there, and I think they will. The only reason the only reason they weren't there was because of the cost. And let's be honest, when they filed for bankruptcy 2 months later, that was decided months in advance. They went, okay, we got to trim costs.
Yeah.
So I
definitely think
because this will be the first NAMM with the new CEO. You know, let's see what they do. Although we have already seen the 2019 stuff, but I think we'll even see some 2020 teases as a result. Definitely the Gibson booth. That's a good question, because I'm trying to think, like, possibly, like, you know, actually the Fender booth too, because any event I've been at, tons of Fender stuff, and then EVH, Charvel, Jackson, and Gretsch are all kind of off in a corner, you know,
right.
or just one rack of just all 4 companies. So I'd like to see some more of that stuff. And then other companies that I've just never seen before. I don't even know who they would be, but
Sure.
you know, like let's say Macmol, for instance. You know, if they're there, I've never seen their stuff up close.
Yeah, it's a good chance to play some kind of off the wall stuff, right? I'm sure there's. I think last year I watched a couple of videos where there was a walkthrough of this maybe a small like boutique builder area where each person just maybe had 1 or 2 guitars. But I thought that was super cool because that's stuff you're never going to see at a store. You're never going to get to check out in person. And there it is, whole floor of it, just for a room or whatever. I thought that was pretty cool. I always thought the Ibanez booth, I used to love Ibanez, fair enough, but lately I've kind of gotten away from that. But their booth's always kind of cool looking just because it's got so much stuff. They always have like 20 new models. They have all these new weird artist guitars, and I've always wanted to check that out. It's something I always look up on YouTube.
Well, and see, that's the thing. Like, I have no shame at these events. Like, when we went to Cosmo Music Fest, Rich, you know, he told the story. He picked up the $15,000 PRS, which would be about 12 grand US. So, you know, it was their nicest one there. And that's what I go for. I go immediately for all the custom shop stuff because, like, say, it's not only stuff you don't see in person, but I'm never going to get a chance to pick one up. And so, you know, as long as you're not a tool about it and just kind of rip it off the stand and stuff.
Yeah.
And the other thing I find really funny at all these shows, all the stuff is set up on essentially, you know, fold-up tables with a tablecloth over them. And they're using $5 guitar stands.
I know. Yeah.
You know, like most of them don't even have the little the protector to keep them from falling forward. It's like the real bottom of the line. Like, granted, you know, they got to pull out hundreds of guitar stands, but it's like, really, guys, you want to put, you know, a guitar that's worth as much as a car on a $5 stand?
Risky.
Yeah. We got a few more people jumping in here. Let's see. I see everyone saying hey to each other. I think Guitar Hack missed his shout out earlier, so hey again, Guitar Hack.
Oh, Guitar Hack. Oh, yeah.
JJ's Collins. Good to see you, buddy. It's been a while. Marks those images. I was chatting with him earlier during Pete Thorne. Is that right, Todd? You jumped in at the end of Pete Thorne.
Yeah.
Absolute Mayhem.
I usually
Absolute
watch
Mayhem.
it, but don't comment much.
Paul, CBD e-juice, yes. CBD oil, no. That'll give you pneumonia, and you're in the hospital. Because it's derived not from vegetable glycerin vegetable glycerin, but coconut oil. And by heating that up and vaping it, very bad news. You're coating your lungs with a film. Very bad. Hey, Steve. Good to see you.
Welcome to Steve Mandrakey.
Yes. Awesome. We got 41 people watching, and all we've done is just idle chit-chat.
Well,
although we did touch on
any new gear? What you got coming and going?
Well, the newest acquisition is the Reno Fin Telly, which
Yeah.
is now.
So far, you're liking that thing?
It's just about broken in, you know, for the most part. You know, the short-term thing, it knows it's a guitar now, put it that way, because it was built and on a plane within a week of its build. And as such, that was hard on it. Like, we had to do some fret work, a little bit of fret work. Yeah, for sure. In a minute there, Terry. Yeah, there's one fret still a little high, which I forgot. The 16th fret is kind of high, so I can't solo in E. You know, except I did the other night, and we're doing a Blue Rodeo song, which so very clean, you know, ambient. I'm doing the outro solo, and every time I would start my reverse scale doing runs, I choke out notes. So it's like immediately, okay, yeah, let's turn that into a chicken pick. Yeah, it was supposed to be a dead note there.
Sure.
And so, yeah, Dave Nesdall told me that even though it had a high fret, play it for a full month and then do a fret level. Because it may on its own wear, because it might be just a hair too high that it might wear on its own.
I was hoping that was the case on my JP6, which has a high fret, and it's not. So that's
hey, Riley.
I'm gonna try to fix it. Scaring me.
Easy to do.
Yeah, you can tap it down. Well, you're going to do a fret replacement anyways. You're getting ambitious.
That's why I'm doing it, because I don't want to touch a. I mean, the JP6 is pretty nice. I don't want to mess that one up. So the monoprice guitar will be the sacrificial lamb.
And Terry, you have a shout out, don't you?
Yes, to those of you out there who might actually be wrestling fans, my friend and Ben's friend, Lance Moss, is part of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, and they are 9 subs away from 1K. It would help those guys a lot if you can follow the link that I'll be posting in the side chat to help them to get 1K. And especially if you're a wrestling fan, hey, it's perfect.
There you go.
Thank you very much, folks.
If you don't like wrestling, do it anyways. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Lance is a good guy.
Yeah.
Hey,
I've known
Sean
Lance
Zimmerman.
for like...
Dan Sullivan, the gambler himself. You've been missing in action for a little while. I understand why with the new law changes and all, but just kidding, buddy. Great to see you back. Live anyways. You may be watching on repeat. I don't know. Saying, hey, so yes, you're saying it. Yes. Here, give me a sec here. I'm going to present you.
That's it. Sully Erna.
There we go. Oh, right. Yeah. So this is the dude from Godsmack?
Right.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that is different, isn't it?
Yeah, I had no idea who he was. I just thought it was neat. I've taken a lot of crap. I've taken a lot of crap for it because it does look kind of phony down on that end, but it's iridescent. You probably can't see it.
Catching a bit of it.
It just looks.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I knew, like, I couldn't really say it in the chat last night because it would have been too much to type the other night or whatever it was. Yeah, I had known of Godsmack. Obviously, you would see their name on, Guitar World. They would always be one of 4 bands listed or something like that. They were getting a lot of press. Right. And then I joined a very busy local metal band, and we started playing this riff-based, heavy rock metal stuff. And then I think I'd been in the band for at least a full year. And I was driving out to Richie's place, and the local classic rock station had changed formats to where it was classic rock and new rock. And so the song comes on my way, literally driving to Richie's place. And I thought, Christ, they're playing one of my songs. Like, that sounds like my band. And they're like, yeah, and that was Godsmack, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So I show up at Richie's place, and he's like, Coombs, how you doing? I'm like, why didn't you tell me I was playing a Godsmack tribute band? He goes, dude, I thought you knew. Like, your other guitar player obviously worships Godsmack. I was like, never heard him before in my life.
It's a very good story.
Does he use the phaser a lot? 'Cause this thing has a built-in phaser in it.
Maybe.
On the guitar?
That's awesome.
In the guitar. This switch right here, this pull-up switch, that's a phaser.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
I am not familiar with them, so I can't tell you. But
I wasn't either. Thing I didn't like about it is there's no tone knob. I had to put a tone knob on the inside of the cavity to turn it down because it's a really bright guitar. Really, like it's super hot. 57 classic.
Oh, okay.
Not a regular 57 plus.
Guitar Hack was asking if there was one pickup in it. Yes, one pickup.
Yeah.
I rarely use a tone knob. I should probably do that more. But when I see a no tone knob guitar, I go like, oh, I like that. That's a plus.
The only time I touch my toe knobs. Yeah, I think the only time I touch my toe knobs is to make sure they're wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find at least once or twice a night.
Double check.
You'll see me do that. Like, I'll hit a chord, I'm like, oh, all right, and I'll just, at least with a Tele these days, I only have 2 knobs to check. Not like a Les Paul, I was always checking all 4 regardless. Doesn't matter what pickup I'm using, I check all 4.
Yeah, the 4 knob thing. That's what I do. Oh, go ahead.
I said, well, on a single pickup guitar, you need a tone knob for one thing.
Yeah.
You get a lot more sounds out of a single pickup guitar with a tone knob. But I've got a Tele with 3 knobs on it. Doesn't yours have 3?
Nope. All mine have 2.
No?
2 knobs and a switch.
I just built one with 3 knobs on it. It's got 2 volumes and a tone.
Nice. Guitar Hack says only use tone knob for some Fender amps. Yeah, I do. I will say that was a trick I learned from Vince Gill. Was like, if you're playing it as a Tele player, and every once in a while, whatever room you're in, you'll just sound a little too tinny or shrill. You just back off your tone to about 8, and it just sounds beautiful.
That's kind of what I've had always the appeal for the Lee Romaldo Jazz Masters, because it's just a simple 3-way toggle and a volume.
Right.
Well, it's Jazz Blaster, but still.
Hey, we got RJ.
I'm surprised.
Jumping in. Good to see you, RJ. All kinds of people jumping in tonight. Lando, if I didn't say hi already.
Oh, hello, Lando.
Hey, Lando.
Go ahead. You're going to say something, Todd?
Oh, I was just going to say on Les Paul's, I'm surprised that Hack doesn't use his tone knob. If you want to get the woman tone, instead of just using the neck pickup, if you turn the tone down all the way down on the bridge and the tone all the way up on or backward, I had that backwards, all the way up on the bridge and all the way down on the neck, you can get a nice woman tone out.
Yep. That's true.
I don't think I'm good enough at guitar to like pay attention to like bar. Can't do any of that. Too many knobs, can't do that. Too many switches, can't do that. So I think ideally 3-way switch, which would just be bridge, split both, and neck, and then volume, and then it's fine. Done. That's all I want.
And I do want to say to Dan Sullivan, the trans black is growing on me on certain guitars. I'm not finding it like SGs. I'm not 100% against them anymore.
That's the best you can say about an SG.
Well, there are apparently those unicorns out there that are in fact balanced. Now that I Rich's is balanced. I played Rich's guitar. I went, oh my, okay, they do exist. So unicorns are real, folks.
I'd be curious to try one out. Every couple years I go, I should try an SG, and I just never get around to it. But
even without the neck dive, I just find everything's pushed over that little bit. Not as bad as a Firebird. A Firebird, I can't physically play a Firebird. So every time I strum a Firebird, I strum behind the bridge. It's so offset.
I can honestly say, since I've had that Epiphone Thunderbird bass, yeah, not a fan of that. Jazzmaster,
Really?
Jaguar, those offsets I find are really comfortable. Telly, Strat.
If you play,
Go ahead, Todd.
you say if you play nice.
SGs play nice. I just can't get comfortable playing them. Maybe, I don't know. I was going to say maybe if I sat down with one, but I owned one, and I never bonded with it.
To play slide, everything's out here, you know. You don't have to get way down here to play your slide. It's more out here. That's what I like about the Firebird and the SG.
Hey, yeah, good point. Good point.
I mean, that's like about all I use them for, actually. But
I think the funniest was we were playing a gig. I don't even remember where it was this summer. And it was one of those nights where I guess we were playing a few songs upbeat, so we ran out of material during the last set. And Richie busted into Rocky Mountain Way. You know, and it took me a second to even clue in, oh, we're playing Rocky Mountain Way. Oh, crap, I play slide on this song. Oh, crap, I don't have my slide guitar with open tuning. I was wearing my Kramer around my neck, so I played slide on that flipping Kramer back there, which, as you know, most Floyd Rose style guitars aren't really set up for slide. But fortunately, I have a very light touch in it. I pulled it off enough.
What's the ideal setup for a slide? Higher action and
just higher action.
Yeah,
higher action.
Yeah. And higher radius fretboard helps. You know, like I have a much harder time playing slide on a Fender than on a Gibson even. So generally, this Les Paul's been on slide duty. That or my Mockingbird, I usually take out for slide. Definitely, especially my older tellies, you know, because the neck radius is so small on the old stuff that it's really hard without raising the action. Especially.
Yeah, basically what you're saying, Ben, is a flatter radius, not a raised.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and a combination, you know, of the two, right? You want essentially a flat radius or as flat as possible and a higher action because most people have more pressure on the strings than I do. It looks like everyone's still kind of talking to each other in the chat, unless I missed something. Which, if I missed something, please type it again.
I think it's mostly
high action, thicker strings for better slide tone. Dan says.
So yeah. thick strings, 20-inch radius. So you need a gent guitar for slide. Is that what I'm hearing?
Actually, that would be cool because you could get some low slides, you know, where you're sliding up into the root notes and stuff like that. Almost like a baritone. Which I think, was it one night during Johnny's show when Jay Hannon broke his high E string on a 7-string. I'm like, isn't that just a baritone now?
Huge. Riley wants to know if Solar is worth it or if he should swap pickups in his Ibanez. If you want the Evertune bridge, yes, because the bridge alone is like $300. But if you don't care about the Evertune, I'd probably go Ibanez. If it's a Prestige, that's going to be better. So get a Prestige with nice pickups. But the Solar was pretty cool, and the Evertune was really cool. I love that thing. I've been thinking about it.
Those are pretty crazy.
I can't believe it works. I'm dying to get. I noticed Kiesel added it, so you can get a couple of their models with an Evertune, and otherwise they're pretty hard to find. I thought they'd be easier to track down, but really it's like LTD, Solar. That might be it.
Still early adoption, and to me, I think it's the cost and the complications of putting it into a guitar into production.
I didn't realize just the piece was $300. So when you see the retail price of those ESPs coming in at like $899 or something with an Evertune, you think, whoa, that's a really cheap guitar. if 300 of it's just the bridge, that's pretty significant. So I don't know, but it totally works. It's super cool.
I'm going to do these questions out of order. because first one from Guitar Hack. Any purchases coming up at NAMM? No, because I'm not a retailer, so I can't buy there. Unless I buy something through Sean, but then again, it has to be a company that he's already buying through, and I would just add it to their order. But no.
Oh, you can't buy like a floor model or something there? Or?
Sometimes on a Sunday you can, but the rule of thumb is no, but sometimes yes, as opposed to yes, but sometimes no. Yeah. Let's see. Mayhem asks question. Floyd Rose says special Floyd Rose. Does that actually mean anything? Yes, it's different than the original Floyd Rose. Floyd Rose Special is a slightly different design.
Floyd Rose Special is specifically a OEM usually created in the Asian or Korean market. Yes. It usually falls underneath the Floyd Rose 1000. I believe there's a 1000, a 2000, and a 3000 now.
Well, I did learn, what was that, last night on Steve from Boston show, a Floyd Rose 1000 is the exact same as a German Floyd, just built in two different parts of the world. You know, one's Korean, yes. One's German, but even he said the metallurgy is the exact same. So it's not like a cheaper, softer metal, whereas I think the Floyd Rose Specials are a slightly softer.
Yeah, I've had pretty poor luck with the Specials. But the Schecter I had a real weird, it was like a Pro, and it was short and squat, but it was still a legitimate, I think, I don't know if it was made in Germany, but it was, that one actually worked, which is nice. Because a frustrating Floyd is like death sentence to me. I hate those things. So
I will say,
did a good one.
Thank you, Bobby. We'll see if we stay there. You know how numbers fluctuates, but thank you on the 500 subs. Groovy Ghoulie, a few peeps answered in the chat, but question to everyone: what is the last piece of gear purchased, traded, or Mad Max Thunderdome fought for? All right, so what was the last piece of gear you acquired, I guess? So for me, yeah, it's that Telly style deal. Terry's showing off a Floyd Rose of some kind here. Let's break in on this.
Okay, so those that are curious, this is the Schecter Damien 6 Elite that I got, and this is a Floyd Rose Special.
How's it work? Pretty well? Medium?
Compared to previously the Ibanez Edge tremolo I had on a 350DX, it's a way better, more stabler tremolo.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so those that are curious about Floyd Rose Special. And again, this was a made in Korea guitar. So gives you an idea on the origin. But again, out of my brief experiences with Floyd Roses, that's basically this. And other than a bit of tarnish there, metals don't seem so soft. And again, better than the, I think it's the Edge 1, I think was the tremolo on the Ibanez 350DXs. That, it was like, when you talk about like cheap metal and soft on the Ibanez.
I hate that feeling, especially when they give you Allen keys on those bolts and you can feel it just mush as you turn it, and you're like, this isn't going to last a week. Why would they even make this product? And sure enough, I had an old, I think it was a Korean Ibanez, same thing. Just wasn't good. It was mushy. I think I stripped every single thing out, and then a tech finally just bolted the whole thing in and said, don't worry about this, and just don't use it.
So I would assume, Chris, the last piece of gear you got was that single cut?
The mono price thing? Yeah. I mean, if you
for $65.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna mess around with it. But I was looking at it tonight, and I don't even think the fretboard is real wood. It's pretty questionable. But
I was gonna say, if anything, I thought it would have been Pal Ferro.
It
could be
close. Yeah, I posted a picture on Instagram that it was as close as I could get with my cell phone, but it almost looks like paper thin veneer sandwiched together.
Okay, I'm not laughing at that. I'm reading Guitar Hack. I got Ibanez on the brain. Talk me down, folks.
Oh,
Well,
Guitar
Hack,
Hack.
if you sell one Gibson, you can get 4 Ibanez.
Yeah, and if you get a nice Japanese one, it's gonna be
or 2 Hardcore or
Yeah. Yeah. Or you can get 25 Geos.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, that pretty much too.
Oh, good Ibanez is everybody should have one though. They're awesome. They do their own thing. And
hey, Suave Train Wreck, he says, yeah, it really needs to be hard but not brittle on the knife edges. Yes. That's the key to a good Floyd. Clive 54 is headed out. Okay, we'll see you later. Brian Cote, the shredder out of Toronto. I was checking out one of his videos earlier. Wow.
So there's
Nice
my
stuff.
acquisition.
Yes. Here, I'm going to present Terry again because he just keeps pulling out guitars here. You'd think it was a live from Ardens special with volume here. Yes.
Oh, and it's backwards. Boo.
Not backwards on this end.
yeah, weirdly, it's right side for me.
Oh, actually, yeah, it's
Yeah.
right side on the
Yeah, for everybody but you.
everybody but me.
It's right.
So, anyways, it's 2011, made in Mexico, Jazzmaster HS.
Oh, is that a single or yeah? That's their they oversized single coil, but not a P90, as I got lambasted in my offset review I did.
Yeah, that's a true Jazzmaster neck pickup.
Yeah.
And then the bridge pickup is, like I said in my one video about this, I said it reminds me as if it was a guitar that the pickup was like a leftover from like the Cobains,
Right.
because it has absolutely no treble to it, but mid and bass it has like easily. So it's kind of like defeats the purpose of being a bridge pickup,
Mm-hmm.
because you should have treble down there.
Right.
Interesting. Wonder why they did that.
Yeah, like I said, as far as I'm concerned, it's probably to put something different to
them up.
market and use them up. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Like,
that-
what
that
do we
was
do
like
with all these
the-
pickups that are terrible?
What was it? The modern Jazzmaster, the green guitar I did a review vid on. That's one of those 4 videos that always gets a hit. And I'm looking at it, and I was like, this is just a Jim Root guitar that's been repainted electric green. Because I'm like, we know Fender isn't big on active pickups, but it's got active pickups, all black hardware. I was like, yeah, if this was Olympic white instead of this green color, it'd be a Jim Root, offset, but which are no longer around by the looks of things. So,
And that's where I think Fender does things right before they actually bring something to the main product, is they throw it out under the Squire branding, see how it sticks. If it gets popular, then they do it in the main Fender branding. But yeah,
or even they
basically
even
what-
do an in between, right? Like it'll be
Yep.
strictly Squire out of China. Okay, well maybe we'll do an Indonesian as well, or a Korean, or okay, well now we're going to do a Mexican version and eventually a US made.
But you're
Japanese,
right, though, when you said that about the Jim Root Jazzmaster. It literally is like not too far off of a Jim Root Jazzmaster, other than I think the switching. And of course the color. Just some
Guitar Girl?
subtle things.
Putting the
Yep.
kiddo to
Thank you,
bed.
Guitar Girl.
And we have a request, Todd. Soda Pop would like to see your telly, if you don't mind.
The one that I just mentioned, or the offset?
Let's see what he says. Just
delay
mentioned or
begins.
offset? I know that offset telly is pretty cool. You posted some pictures of that in the Facebook group. I remember that because you're like, yeah, build an offset telly. I'm like, wait, what? Huh? I need to see photos of this, Todd.
No, I didn't build that one. That's the Japanese one.
Oh,
built
right. Yes. Yeah, he said the one you just mentioned. So I guess not the offset one.
I'll get it.
Got a Strandberg coming next week. I'm kind of optimistic, but I don't really know what to expect with that one.
I must say, I do like on your channel the way you document your gas. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, this is how I buy a guitar. This is how I sell a guitar.
Yep.
This is what I got. This, you know, it's great.
Yeah. I mean, I was doing it anyways, and I was like, man, I should just start the camera because maybe somebody would get a kick out of watching me
Isn't it terrible
agonize
now?
over these stupid guitars that
If I could go through a day without going, you know, I could do a video on that.
yeah.
It's just like, you know, second nature now. You know, you go do anything. Hell, am I going to do a video on it? All right, let's present Todd.
I don't want to offend.
Presenting.
I don't want to offend Hack with this. It's got gold on it.
Gold.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's nice. Ooh,
I love gold.
I dig that. So what do you got in that for pickups?
Guitar, not guitar fetish. Guitar. That's a cheapie.
Guitar
I can't
heads?
think of the name.
Guitar heads.
I think that is it. Yeah, I think that is what that is. Just something I got afraid, and I thought I'd try it. It doesn't sound bad at all.
Nice.
But yeah, I've got a volume for each pickup, and then just
Very
something
cool.
different. Made a different, you know, different telly.
John 5
nice.
wiring. Volume.
Mm-hmm. Soda Pop says thanks. You're more than welcome. And it looks like Clive
Oh, you're
is
welcome.
sticking around for a while anyways. Awesome, Clive. 20 this year, eh, Guitar Pit? You wouldn't even let me ask you that on here, eh?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. I was looking at, I think I have like 20...
Well, I thought at first they meant like lifetime, and I thought to myself, first of all, my memory is enough of a sieve. I'm sure there's guitars I've owned that I don't even remember, because I know there's been a few quick flips, like buying a Thursday, sell by
Sure.
Sunday.
Yeah, I do that all the time. And
Yeah,
you'll never remember that.
no.
I don't know. It's super hard. I would say that the couple, it kind of depends. There's ones that I've had a long time, and there's ones that even if I don't have them now, I had them a long time, and those ones stick. But there's definitely stuff that shows up, and I play it for a couple hours and go, you know what, I don't want
See
this.
Janice? Janice is headed out.
See you, Janice.
Yeah, I remember like picking up a lot of cheap Japanese stuff in the 90s because I don't think there really was much in the way of Chinese stuff at that point.
Right.
But whatever Japanese, well, and Korean built too, come to think of it. And, just picking up guitars for 50, 60 bucks.
Oh.
Just get the action as low as possible without it buzzing. Shave the nut a bit to give it some better nut action because they were all terrible for that. Like an hour or two of your time, and then turn around and sell it for a $20, $30 profit. All the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or it's just some elbow grease. Just simply clean something. Take it all apart, clean it up, put it back together, and it looks like it's worth twice as much money.
That's basically how it was with my Schecter. When I got it in the trade, it was like grungy as all hell.
Yeah.
Like, to look at that, you'd think that was mint now compared to what it would have looked like when I first got it in the trade.
Well, yeah. Well, first thing you had to do is usually wipe off 5 layers of cigarette smoke residue off of them.
Yeah, it was pretty grungy.
Yeah.
The Jazzmaster, the Epi short scale bass that I got, that thing had a ton of, you might as well say, clay embedded into its fingerboard. And I was just like, no matter what I put on it, like rubbing alcohol, anything else, it ultimately came down to the end that I had to use an X-Acto blade. And it was the only way it was going to take it back down to like its fretboard. I was like, oh my God.
Pretty
Eddie
nasty.
Van Haskell. Good to see you, Eddie. The Nicotine Master, yeah. How many buttercream guitars I bought just to find out they're Olympic white.
Yep.
Ugh.
It'd be more disappointing if you bought it thinking it was Olympic white and turned out it was buttercream.
Yeah. So how's that finish looking? Well, I'm seeing a lot of wood grain now, so it was a thin finish.
Oh.
Guitar Hack says we're making him want to go on a guitar safari.
Guitar safari.
That's kind of how I felt at Chicago Music Exchange. I was like, I traveled and went to a music store, and it was kind of guitar safari-ish. It was awesome. That's such a cool store. Could just
I can imagine.
Sit there and lose my mind over just all sorts of cool stuff.
Yeah, just quickly on that thought, like RJ, the Mad One said, smokes, but not in the guitar room. Besides around people, the two worst places to smoke around, guitars and electronics, especially computers. Nicotine buildup in a computer, bad.
Yeah, tell me about it. That's one of the reasons this thing's so noisy. My old laptop, because I chain smoked in front of it for years.
So if Ben points the camera down as his laptop, it'll go and puff out smoke.
Yeah. So we're gonna have somebody jump in with us for a little bit because it's New Guitar Day for one of our longtime viewers.
Yeah.
You guys will probably all recognize. So, and if anybody was watching Pete Thorne earlier, he was watching Pete Thorne in the chat and then left to go buy this guitar, and then I got photos sent to me not half an hour later.
Nice.
That's like the same day.
Yeah. And I said to him, I'm like, and I kept asking the same thing. I'm like, so is it a floating trem? He goes, yeah, it's a Floyd. It's like, yeah, I know what a Floyd Rose looks like, but is it floating? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, don't ask me to set it up, dude.
Oh, Floyd floating. Yeah, that is fun. Like I said, I've had 3 Floyd style trims, and yeah, to put them in floating is probably the biggest pain in the derriere with them.
Yeah. That's why I don't mind doing work on the Kramer because it's decked. So
yeah. Mind you though, to me
CS5 train wreck.
A Floyd Rose just looks so silly sitting like that. Like totally like bottomed out into the decking. It's like
oh yeah, like ones that are designed to be floating that aren't necessarily
all the way down.
Yeah.
I wish I liked them more. I've been wanting a Friedman Cali for so long, and that's the one reason that I don't want a Floyd. I mean, they'll probably make a hardtail one if I asked, but
now is that their Strat style guitar?
Yeah, it's like the super shredder kind of Strat, double humbucker.
I played the regular Strat style with with a vintage fulcrum too, because it had the 6 screws and stuff.
I've seen those.
Again, being shameless, like I told you, when we were at Cosmo Music Fest. Oh Jesus, you've never looked better, Mayhem.
It's Halloween, man.
Sure. I'll just finish up right before you show off your new beast.
Sure.
So Richie and I were at Cosmo Music Fest, and there was a booth of just boutique gear. So it was about 3 or 4 boutique amp companies and Friedman stuff.
Oh man.
And the guy wasn't even in the booth. And we're walking along, and I'm like, there's a Friedman guitar plugged into a Friedman amp. I'm picking it up. I don't care. Because if you're dumb enough to leave your booth unattended, I'm dumb enough to pick up the guitar. And I just picked it up, and I'm playing away. And the guy just walked up to me, and he's like, so what do you think? And I'm like, this is awesome. And he's like, oh, you're familiar with them? I'm like, oh, yeah. He's like, do you know who builds them? I'm like, yeah, Grover Jackson. He's like, wow, you really know your Friedman stuff. Well, not really, because Grover Jackson was on Tone Talk not 2 weeks earlier or something like that. And so I'd just seen the episode. So Friedman was fresh on the brain. And that's why I was like, oh, I have to play. And they play is awesome.
They're so good.
They are. They're so good.
I know. That's what I keep saying. Well, I hate a Floyd, but they're so good that it'd probably be okay. And I go back and forth on that over and over and over again. But I hate a Floyd, but they're so good. And tempting.
Guitar hack. They should have some Friedman guitars at Cosmo because they were displaying one anyway. So, and usually they didn't have anything out on the floor if they weren't sold there. So, for those who don't know, we have Absolute Mayhem joining us.
Hey guys,
dude.
And it's NGD, New Guitar Day for Absolute Mayhem. You know, Mr. I got back into playing in March, and he's already got, I don't know how many guitars, and he's not going for your beginner styles, guys. What'd you get today, Mayhem?
You want to present me and I'll show it?
I'm reaching for the cursor as we speak.
All right, I'll take this off. So I've been looking for one of these for a while. It is a...
Ooh.
And he holds it upside down. There you go, playing position.
LTD ESP. I finally got EMGs used. It's
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you scored a deal on that.
So what is that one? That's the...
It's the EC 401.
Oh, the 401.
FR,
Okay.
and then it's got the floating row.
Floating. Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's that floating thing.
Yeah. That's what I told you guys. I told you when he told me it was
Yeah.
floating. I said, I'm out. I'm not setting it up.
So it's got some love marks on it, but I mean it's just awesome.
But those things retail for about $1,300 new.
I got it for $365 taxes in, and it came with,
that's pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
and it came with a set of Scheller locking strap locks.
Strap locks. Yeah.
Right on it.
Jeez.
So I mean they're like $40 just for that. So
That
I
was
almost have to
definitely
get a case, but it needs a setup on it big time. I don't know who played it before me, but I mean the action on it. Well, I'll see if I can show it.
Fortunately, you got a good guy.
I don't know if I talk it'll come up, but the action on it is just phenomenally high.
He brings his guitars to Dave?
Yeah, I wish. I wish. I actually have a guitar. I wish I could get a chance to go see Dave and get him to repair my buddy's Kramer.
I told you.
Beretta.
When you have everything in place, I'll make the call.
Yeah, I have to see if John will part with his baby. But yeah,
because I've been in touch with Dave. We've chatted a few times, so yeah, I have his contact info. So, and I'm sure he would work on that guitar because he knows the guitar. You know, we all do.
Yeah, for sure.
And it'd make good for a good video for him.
And it probably needs a cleaning and everything else. I'd pay for all that.
Oh
But
yeah, you'd want to get all that '80s DNA off of it. Oh, we drive it up, dude. We're not shipping it.
For sure, definitely. I'd love to do that, and it'd be a huge surprise. Maybe what I can do is he never plays it anymore because it's got a crack in the bottom just by where the plug-in is, and he's afraid of chipping the paint worse, so he hasn't touched it. So I think if I got it repaired for him, it would be a gift that he would then pick his guitar up and play again because he hasn't played in years. When he got the case hit, it was just covered in dust. So, if I can talk his wife into letting me steal it for a day, kind of do it as a kind of a birthday present or a surprise, that'd be awesome. But not till the weather's
It'd be
nice.
more than a day. It would be a drop off and pick up because curing time and stuff.
Oh, that's true too. But if I could find a way to get it, out of the case without John knowing it, and then put it back in repaired, and then show him the video, that'd be really awesome. But,
that would be cool.
It'd be nice treat. But yeah, I'm really happy. I mean, that kind of scratches all my latest stitches. I was really looking at a bunch of Les Pauls, but I've told Ben this 100 times. I pick them up and I play them in the store, and they just don't feel right. And when I picked that one up the other day, I think it was Friday, I'm like, man, I know I'm gonna be buying this before next week. Like I knew I was coming back. The guy even kind of looked at me funny, like, you want me to plug it in? I'm like, no, if I plug it in, I'm gonna walk out of here with it. And I just no, I need to think on it. Do I really, really want it? So
I mean, that's what I've heard too, as well. Too, people that are, really want to love a Les Paul, and they just can't seem to get with any of them, whether it's the import or the export, and they go and they pick up one of those LTD or ESP, Les Paul style guitars like that, and it's like instant, like, bam, this is what I've been wanting.
that's exactly what it was. The neck profile on it, it's almost identical to my Schrecter. The Ibanez I got off Ben, the EX350 has a thinner profile. It's a little wider, a little thinner. This is more like the Schrecter. It's a bit more of a C round back on it, like maybe like a heavy D. But I wasn't really sure if I liked the painted neck, but it's really smooth and glassy. But I suppose if you start sweating, it'd get a bit sticky. But I mean, just playing in the basement doesn't really matter.
The ESP gloss necks are pretty good, though. I found they're not. They do something to them.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Magic sauce, you know. It's
well, again, it's
cool guitars.
When you talk about urethanes, poly, and so forth and so forth. So I mean, that's all it. Plus your own body chemistry. People also get that as well too. If you got a really sticky sweat that comes off you, well,
really
you're not going to be able to slide up and down a neck well.
Yeah, exactly. And like you say, different body chemistry, because you could have a neck that you're like, oh, this thing plays great and fast, and I grab it, I'm like, what are you talking about? This thing feels like what'd you do to lube it? Use super glue? Like, come on.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you, though. It's got active pickups. It does have a 9-volt battery slot in the back. And I did the old battery test on the tongue. I've plugged it in and it works, but it's really, really weak. Does a new battery make it louder, or does
Yes.
Yes. Should.
Okay, because that battery's almost
I'm
dead.
fortunate where the circuitry for the pickups in this, that when the battery dies, you can still play it. Output goes down maybe 10%, and just the controls controls no longer work. The selector works, but because that's how I knew my battery died last time. I went to kill the volume, and I was like, why do I still have volume? And then the tone knob's doing nothing either, and I'm like, oh, okay.
The only odd thing that you said there is that it's. Did you say it was a 9-volt or double A's?
It's a 9-volt.
9-volt.
Okay. Yeah, because I know there's some Ibanez's that actually use two AA batteries.
Okay.
Ooh, I've never seen that. What, or was that like house brand Ibanez actives?
Yeah.
I see. That's cool.
Eric C got a guitar recently that it was double. And usually in those instances, people that get those that actually want to put an actual set of EMGs, they actually got to cut the bottom off of the 9-volt compartment so that you can actually set a 9-volt in it without actually buying a whole new.
This is I don't know if you can see this or not. This is the runner-up. I almost bought this today. It's an Ibanez ART 320.
Yep.
Really nice. Really nice.
They are nice.
It's very, very light. But I mean, I already had the Schrecter, and it's got, it's very similar, only it would have EMGs.
Well, plus, you've been all hot and horny for EMGs for months now.
Well, I told Ben I'm gonna order a Gibson off AliExpress and get like a Floyd Rose Gibson, and he's like, "Don't do it, don't do it."
No,
I'm like, run away.
I
want to say hey to David Ennis. I think I missed him earlier, and Quentin James.
Hey, David.
Yeah. Sylvester.
So does anybody have a technician they tend to go to? I mean, obviously I go to Ben for the little stuff, but then Ben will look at it and go, nope, guitar tech.
No, you need a real tech.
But does anybody have anybody they trust their guitars with besides themselves?
Richie.
I was going to say I do all my own work.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I don't do, I just give to Rich to do. And even then, he knows his limits. And yeah.
I'm pretty sure that thing needs from watching Dave's World of Fun Stuff, I'm sure the neck needs to be touched on that.
Oh, I know it does.
Definitely. Or it needs a shim, but you can't shim that, right? Because it's not a
No, you
bolt
can't
on.
shim a set
No.
neck.
That'd be a lot of work.
That's the issue with set necks and Floyds. Yeah. See you, Groovy Ghoulie.
Ooh, enjoy
Red-
Red Dead Reckoning 2.
I assume that's a video game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a very popular video game that's been
See, it shows how much I know, eh?
for the last like 2-3 years after the Red Dead Redemption. It's right up there with Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, so now we're all gonna have to wait for Grand Theft Auto 6, Terry, because now that Red Dead 2's out, it'll be GTA 6.
Yeah. That'll probably
Soda
be
Pop asked
2020.
if anyone's ever tried a Gibson ES 139 panel.
I have not,
Nope.
but it definitely would be a lovely guitar to try.
How about you,
I've
Todd?
had that conversation with him. No, I've had that conversation with him. I didn't even know they existed. I thought he was talking about a 235.
Right.
Oddly
But,
enough,
They
sorry,
haven't
go
been
ahead,
made
Todd.
for a while. I was going to say they haven't been made for a while. That's why.
Yeah, I think they just brought them back. I may have way back when. I could swore that was because they brought back some traditional stuff that I haven't seen in decades. Like some of the really old blue stuff, like full hollow body, neck pickup, like not even jazz boxes, like folk boxes for
The last time they made those, I think, was 2011.
Okay.
Yeah. 2018 they have it out. But if you want another little hint or tip, there is an Epiphone version of that guitar out. Depending on, of course, if you're not all hung up on the Epiphone headstock. Otherwise, it's the same identical thing, just with an Epiphone headstock.
Okay, no, I haven't played one of those. Now that I looked it up.
Yeah, I had to look it up too. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, it's almost
What's
like
that?
a jazz box / Birdland.
Yeah.
It looks like a Les Paul.
Which one are you talking about, Terry?
So one ES1.
There's one right there.
Yep.
So there we go.
Called that too?
Lando says, "You guys ready for a Halloween-themed guitar?"
Yeah.
Let me see it again.
I think all my guitars are Halloween-themed guitars because whenever I play, it's frightful.
Like Steve's last night, the gingerbread skeleton guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Halloween price on that guitar.
Oh, is it that?
Death.
Is that one that Terry sent me the other day? I'm wondering. Is that the Telly?
Yeah, some kind of Fender custom shop.
For 18.5?
For 18.5.
Canadian, though. Come on now.
Oh, bargain.
That's only
Okay.
about 14, 15 grand US. So.
I don't really understand the 15 grand Fenders with like homemade paint on them.
Yeah, like you understand it when you look and every little weather check was actually done with a razor blade, so like John Cruise spent 4 months checking it or something, you understand. Or what I don't understand is when they're like, okay, we're gonna make a copy of this guitar, and every little wear mark and like they literally, you can't tell, like the original artist will come in and it's like, well, which one's my original?
Yeah,
you just can't tell. That freaks me out.
And that's super cool, and I get it. That's a whole nother level of work. But I've seen a couple Fender custom shops that just look like a plain guitar with kind of a goofy. And I think what it is it's like, a famous person maybe has done the art, even though it doesn't look good. But I'm paying 20 grand for that.
Yeah. Or it happens that the Telly pickups, they actually found some new old stock from 1953.
Yeah, maybe.
You're like, okay, well, yeah, these pickups are worth, $1 grand right there or whatever.
Yeah, or like Guitar Hack saying that Slash Les Paul 12K. I don't know about that. It's again though, Gibsons are so expensive that 12K is actually not that high for a Gibson. But I mean, what's a standard Les Paul.
Standards are pushing $3,000 Canadian, so they got to be at least $2,000 US.
400 Canadian.
Yeah, they're,
What? 34? They're up.
no, a standard I think is
Standard is 3,400 Canadian.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because a couple weeks ago, I had a Les Paul thing going on, and I just gave up. Couldn't get over the prices.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's amazing. I was on a Les Paul kick last year, and when I went on eBay Canada, like a new custom shop one, like they're $7,000 to $9,000 new, right? Okay, Canadian.
Crazy.
But even just a standard Les Paul custom is $6,000 Canadian.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then I looked on eBay and I'm finding, like quality 9.5 out of 10, second-hand custom shop R9s for the price of a new custom. And I was like, well, I'll just get one of them.
Yeah.
Because most guys that are selling an R9 take care of an R9. They're not gigged to death or anything. And for a great price.
Well, relatively great.
Yeah.
Well, compared to what Gibson expects.
Yeah. Yeah, their prices are tough, and everything's, I guess, more expensive than maybe 10 years ago. But I feel like Gibson's really led the charge on that in a big way.
The time to
it's because
buy them
it's a lifestyle
are getting ready to come off.
Yeah. And I remember even 5 years ago, there was like 50 different Les Pauls you could get. Like everybody had a signature model because they never discontinued it, right? Because it's just a paint job or what have you. And I remember over from like 2012 through 2015, all the signature models went down to next to nothing. And then in the last couple of years, you could count on one hand the amount of signature models. Whereas you could find a Jimmy Page, a Billy Gibbons, a Joe Walsh, a Joe Perry, Steve Clark from the Sex Pistols had one. Like everybody had a signature, and Ace Frehley, and now none of them are around.
Yeah. I really liked the Les Paul that Cesar All Guitar, who I think is still here. He had just the coolest Les Paul on his channel. It was pretty basic, and he was explaining that his was different than kind of Gibson did some weird stuff along the way, but his was kind of the back to basics model, and sounded cool, looked cool. I really liked it, and I watched that video and I was like, well, I'll just check reverb real quick and see. Luckily there wasn't one on there, but
yeah,
it had me.
Especially if you don't need to have a flame top, like if you can find the plain top Les Pauls, it's a fraction of the price because nobody wants them. Whereas, if I have one flame Les Paul, I don't need them all to be a super flame top. Have one that looks sweet, because it seems like nobody has one guitar anymore, right, Mayhem?
Could be listening.
Yeah, or like a really weird color. I feel like it's like flame tops, and then classic, like a black or a white or something, and then down here you have like this one's seafoam with some sparkles. It's like, all right, that one's a little discounted,
and they only made it for 1 year.
Yeah, and it's got like the poor guitars with just something really weird on it. Weird.
We were discussing that the other night. What was it, 2014 or 2015, when they got rid of the one tone pot and put in the 10 decibel boost switch?
Yeah.
Because I remember looking at Les Pauls at that time, and the guy's like, "Oh," and he's trying to tell me that's a salute. I am 100% rhythm player in my band. If I hit that switch, all that does is piss off my lead player, because all of a sudden I'm drowning everybody out. Because let's be honest, 10 decibels is a lot of a boost.
Not to mention it didn't look right.
Yeah. It's like, what, you got coil tap? No.
You would think some of the one-off stuff would be more valuable since it's rare, but it seems like typically not really. Like I know the John Petrucci Music Man there's a limited edition where for no reason it says 2008 on the 12th fret. It's like an inlay. And I think people bought them up because they're like, oh, it's a limited one. It says, or maybe it's 2007 or something, but it looks kind of goofy. That alone is worth negative $400 or $500 on reverb. It's
Right.
just nobody wants that, even though there's not very many of them. It's unique. It's just not worth it. So,
Well,
And
Ben,
note, Wayne.
In my
yeah,
experience,
I'm taking off, guys. Enjoy the
All
rest
right.
of your show. Thanks a lot for
All
letting
right.
me.
yeah,
See you later.
Hey, boys.
Congrats on the new guitar, bud.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
yeah.
Great deal on that.
Awesome.
yeah, $300 for those pickups are like $150.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the pickups are like 152. The tremolo itself is probably at least almost 1 or 2 in itself. So
Mm-hmm.
that's literally,
Not bad.
he's actually in the profit if he actually pulled the pickups and the
Oh, yeah.
tremolo off.
You guys
Well,
like
when you-
EMGs?
I like
I've had them in a
better.
few guitars. I like them in my Telly only because it's unique. Like I've never seen another Telly with EMGs in it. My dad did it, that mod, 33 years ago, and he did it out of necessity because he played in so many bars with bad ground. He was sick of buzzing through his amp all the time.
Yeah.
And so he had heard about this new invention called active pickups, and they do have a different tone. That guitar has its own unique sound, and I dig it, but I wouldn't go out of my way and just use strictly EMGs, for instance.
Yeah. I know they kind of get a bad rap because I think a lot of them sound similar, which I guess is true. But I mean,
But
I
also,
wouldn't
again,
put
look at the
them.
guys that are playing them. If you hear nothing but high gain, playing EMG pickups through a PV 5150 amp.
It's going to sound
Well,
like
everything.
EMGs in a 5150. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And there's different sets. I had a 5766 set. That was a cool set. So I think there's different ones. I think
because
everybody
what is it? Like
gravitates-
everyone seems to get the 8185, I think
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah, that's like the basic combo
Yeah.
sense forever, which is a cool sound, but it does it does one thing and it does that well, but that's about it.
Right. And if every manufacturer that's what their sets are, well, that's like, everybody and their brother putting a Duncan 59 in the bridge of every humbucker guitar.
Yeah.
And you say, well, they all sound the same. Well, of course, they're all Duncan 59s. Soda Pop, does anyone like the Zoot Suit Gibsons? I kind of like them. I kind of liked them. I'm not going to lie.
If you're honestly looking for bargain basement Gibsons, the Zoots are the ones to go for.
Yep.
Because there's
Mark
not too
Dillon.
many people that like them.
Yeah.
There's only, from the ones that I've seen, there's only certain color combination ones that actually are that I wouldn't mind. But beyond that, most of them are just kind of
Right.
How cheap is cheap? What's the right price for an ugly Gibson? $500?
See, I'm old enough to remember that's what you paid for a used Les Paul, $500.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that was $500 almost 30 years ago. So really, we're thinking closer to $1,200-1,500 by today's dollars.
Yeah.
But and 50% of them were gold tops, and the rest were usually a cherry burst or a tobacco burst, and ton of buckle rash on the back, and most of them were early 70s pancake bodies.
70s were
That's all
a
we
lot
had?
of those were really heavy too.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. That's one of the reasons I got rid of I had a 72 Deluxe, and I was going to get rid of one guitar. I had that and my American Strat, and my dad said, "What's the more versatile guitar for gigging?" And I said, "Well, Les Paul sounds like Les Paul." And I said, "But the Strat I can get a variety of tones out of. Plus, I could wear the Strat for an hour or two. That Les Paul, after 10 minutes, I had to sit down because I weighed 125 pounds soaking wet. And the thing weighed 11 pounds or something. It was ridiculous." See you,
I got
Frank
a
C.
10-pounder over there. It's too heavy for me, but I still keep it.
Sure.
So these Zoot Suit guitars are laminated wood, so they're probably dead as a doornail, right? It's just like 100 pieces of wood laminated together.
There's somebody out in California that actually slaps together old skateboards and makes guitars out of them.
Yeah,
and they sound good.
Make gun stocks out of them too.
Yeah, I've heard people say that the more pieces you have glued together gets a little dicey. But if you're curious, the Zoot Suit ones are not cheap. They're $2,000.
I was just looking because I mean they were. It's the fact though that they're rare, but also at the same time, not all of them look great. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's very much, it's a lot like how I understand how it is with Paul Reed Smiths. When you talk about 10 tops, there's some people that love the blue, other people hate the blue, some people love the natural, other people hate the natural, and so forth and so forth.
Yeah,
Right.
well, what's the hideous PRS that's like $10,000? I think it's the Al Di Meola one or whatever the heck that guy is. It's like,
I thought you were just going to say a Silver Sky.
yeah.
Because that generated so much hate, and then it hit the market, and we haven't heard crap since like July.
So I found some Zoots here. This is a Zoot.
Probably did a whole series one.
Yeah.
A whole collection of them.
Yeah, see now this one I don't mind.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Funky.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
But the color scheme, it actually is pretty matching.
Yeah, at least it's not. I mean, there's ones that are just randomized neon, or not neon, like primary. Yeah, some of those are horrible.
Like this one.
Ouch.
Yeah, I like that. That just looks like a blanket or something. Poncho.
Yeah.
But see, I like weird stuff because it's funny because we do a lot of traditional music in the band, but we get into some shoegaze moments at times too. So
well, there
that's
you
right
go,
up my
Ben.
alley.
3,000 to 4,000 Canadian.
Oh yeah, I'll get right on it.
Brutal.
After
This one isn't too
the
bad.
2 guitars I ordered.
Yeah, that one's like a colorblind test or something.
Red and blue. Yeah, actually, that would screw it up for guys who had color blindness, especially for red to blue.
Yeah, that's me. That's my Nemesis guitar right there. What do you guys talk about? That thing's awesome. Are you looking at the same guitar? Clearly not.
So yeah, I think, but that's the whole thing. I mean, they're rare, they're a high price point, but I don't think there's a whole big market for people to go snatch them up, though.
Yeah,
That's one of those guitars are for old hippies that were into Clapton, psychedelic SG, and stuff like that. So they want something cool and trippy, and it's going to spend 99% of its life hanging on the wall in the living room.
Poo Ninja. Oh wait, Rainbow Bright Getter guitar stolen.
Nice. Clive headed out for good at this point. All right, see you, Clive.
Yeah, later, Clive.
Let's do this SG thing real quick.
All right, let's do that.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we're going to take a poll here, folks. Todd's doing an SG build. I'm going to present you here, buddy.
It's not a build. It's just an SG that doesn't have a pick guard on it. It's the naked.
Oh, right.
And I got a pick guard, and I want to know, did I put a pick guard on it or leave it off?
So if you want to see it with no pick guard, type 1 in the chat. 2 will be with a pick guard. Nice guitar there.
Yeah, it's pretty, but I can't make up my mind.
Looks like
all
one
right.
of the 50s tributes.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to put in my vote.
Also, I want the poker chip too.
Oh, you got to do the poker chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put the pick guard on.
All right. So far, we're getting nothing but votes for pickguard. I've yet to see a vote for no pickguard.
Poo Ninja, the contrarian.
I think it looks good without a pick guard.
Okay. Would have known.
Oh, now Paul Lou chimes in, leave it off, and Terry says leave it off. Guitar Hack says with. I'd say the with pickguard is winning.
Actually,
Kind of
what
how I was
color is that
leaning,
again,
but I
Todd?
wasn't sure.
Is that a natural?
Yeah, it's
I think it was.
yeah. This one's the naked natural, and they make a walnut too. This is this natural mahogany.
I'd probably go with it, the pickguard then.
All right, we have a third option. RJ says cut the horn off the pickguard, and then yes to the pickguard. So RJ's voting for a custom pickguard.
Third option, Perloid pickguard.
No,
I've made my own, and it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
no.
This is a
Perloid
custom pickguard, by the way. You can't buy them for the P90s.
Yeah. No, neon green, neon yellow.
Should I trade it for a Zoot Suit SG?
Brutal.
I would say if you could do a straight trade, why not? Because part of those Zoot Suits, then you flip it, and you're going to be having a lot more money.
I bet those Zoot Suits are sitting on reverb for a little bit of time before they sell.
Yeah.
Does it say contact
You get a
seller?
chance.
It's actually Gibson out of Nashville. Because even the stores are like, we're not carrying those, dude. We aren't carrying those.
I
But
think
come on, Guitar Center,
Sweetwater
you'll
did
carry
have
everything.
Sweetwater did have a listing for it here, I think. Gibson, yeah, Sweetwater had a listing for it.
Guitar Hack
no.
says half a pickguard is like growing half a mustache.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Said what?
It's like growing half a mustache.
Oh, I don't like those full. I don't like the full pick guards on SGs. It doesn't look right to me.
yeah. Sweetwater had the Zoot Suit Les Paul with the P90 and the humbucker, the one that you liked, Ben.
Hmm.
It's like new old stock 2008. Please buy this.
Interest.
Yep.
It notices here
Currently used to hold open employee washroom door.
Yeah.
says that they actually used rich
Oh.
light fretboards on them.
Yeah.
Really?
I've got a-
I've yet to try one of those.
Speaking of rich light, I have rich light on it. I didn't know they made them.
Yeah. If it feels okay, I don't really care what my fretboard's made out of. Ooh,
Ooh, that's nice.
time to present Todd yet again.
This has got a rich light pick guard on it, or a rich light fingerboard on it.
That's nice.
Yeah, nice.
I like those diamond inlays.
And it's got the dummy coil in the back so they don't hum.
Oh, nice.
Neat. What kind of guitar is that?
This is an Epiphone Blues Hawk.
Very
Oh,
cool.
the Blues Hawks. Yeah,
I like that.
nice.
Yeah, I dig that.
It sounds pretty darn good. I don't know if you can see it or not on this upper part right here. Can you see
Oh, yeah.
the flame in that?
Yep.
That's all one solid piece of flame.
Wow.
Now, funny how we talk about how Gibson has failed so much over the years. That
Epiphone has done nothing wrong.
that guitar there that Gibson came out with was actually one of their successful designs that they actually launched
Yep.
Yeah.
when Jeskowitz was in charge.
I just find it funny, for a company that the Gibson division gets slagged so much, but yet the Epiphone division has such a great rep.
Yep.
And it's crazy.
Well,
It is.
it's funny because Epiphone's supposed to be their lower tier, but really it's really became more of their bread and butter than the actual main brand.
Now they're getting up over $1,000 on some of them.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the only inherent problem is now they're jacking the prices up on them.
Well, used up until a couple of years ago, you could buy for $300. You could get an Epiphone Les Paul. 300 Canadian.
Right.
In the last 2 years, they've gone up to about the 450 to 500 range just in a couple of years on the secondary market. And the new price has gone up about 200 new. And it's almost like it just shifts. Like it's not a used one is worth half a new one. A used one is worth 300 less than a new one.
Yeah, I actually seen somebody recently just post on the local Kijiji here. They had one standard plus top, and they literally wanted 700 Canadian used.
Oh man!
Wow.
How much are they new? You said like $1,000.
You can get them from anywhere between 8.
No,
and
some of the
1,000.
models.
It depends. It depends.
Hey, we got Sean Silas in the chat.
I
Hey,
think
Sean.
most of them are around $6.99.
Yeah, I mean, almost all brands like that now have at least one model over 1,000. Like LTD all day now has guitars that are what, like 1,300, 1,400. Ibanez certainly. Fender, no, actually, that I can think of. Is there
got about 4 or 5 of them now.
Yeah, which is crazy. It's a lot of money. I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm guessing
Well,
Sean's
I
getting
like
ready
that Johnny
to go out on
with
tour.
57s.
Yeah.
The interesting thing, though, are the price increases in relation to the initial CITES thing that was going on, which, as Ben and others have talked about, is now going to be deregulated, hopefully, in the beginning of next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them have crazy hardware in them. Like I've seen LTD puts like Fishman Fluences in there, which I mean, that's a set price. Those $300 a set, and put special whatever locking tuners on there. Okay, it's another $100.
And just while I think of it, I wanted to give Sean Silas and his bandmates some props. Guitar World did a nice little shout out for them the other day about the new album dropping. And they'll be out on tour, what, about a week and a half you go out on tour, Sean? So, yeah, everyone check out the Riot Band, RYATT. They have YouTube, Facebook, everything. Great stuff. So, Sean was nice enough to jump in the chat, give him a shout out, give him some support.
Hey, Sean.
I had a blast with him and, Rob. Just drew a blank there for a sec. Bass player and singer of the band. They were hilarious. Go back a couple of weeks. We had them on. It was a great show. Awesome stuff. So what were we talking about?
I was talking about how I like
November 1st.
What was that, Todd?
I said I really like Fishman pickups.
They're super cool, and I think they kind of strike that balance that EMG maybe doesn't have, where you get all the benefits from the active, but they sound really good. Yeah. Really good. The classic, I forget if they're called classic or vintage. Those sound good. I had a pair of moderns in ESP, and those things are so brutal. I loved them, but they're super expensive and they're kind of a pain to install. So
I think the Telly ones. I think the Telly one's the one I would go with. If I was going to get spending it again, you know. Yeah, I think you're right on the humbuckers are kind of a.
Yeah, I tell you, it was crazy at Sweetwater for their Gear Fest, because they got like the NAMM set up and you got everybody there. And Greg Koch, of course, is at the Fishman booth. And when you have Greg Koch giving you the hard sell on his Telly set of pickups, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, you can do this with this." I'm like, "Well, no, Greg, you can do that with them. I can't do that." And although and Greg is a super cool guy. You're like, sure, he's going to be on because he's in public type thing, but he was tuning up. I said, "Hey, yeah," like I said, "Hey, can we do a quick video together?" And we did it's on the channel here, a 30-second video of the two of us being all Greg-like, trying to one-up each other. And then, he got into playing and he's showing me the stuff. He's giving me the hard sell. And I'm like, oh, yeah. He's like, "So you're a Telly guy?" And I'm showing him pictures of my old Tellys and stuff like that. And, Oh, right on, right on. Super cool guy. You know, because he's a gear nerd like us, right?
Yeah, he is really a nice guy. Funnier. I think he's really funny.
Guitar hack Greg Koch can make a broom sound good. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Oh, and before I forget, because we still got 29 people watching, I want to announce that tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, we have Grammy Award winner Larry Mitchell coming on.
Ooh, nice.
I keep forgetting to mention it, and I wanted to mention it at the top of the show, especially when we had like 45 people watching. But hey, either way, you'll get the notification if you're subscribed. So, yeah, that's going to be goosebumps about that one. You know, it's like it'll be Christmas Eve. You know, as much as I love hanging out with you guys, I don't see any Grammys in the background there or anything.
Yep.
And plus, Larry is such a cool guy.
He really is. Yeah.
So yeah, it took 2 months of work to get him here. So hopefully, you know, because he is traveling. So he was supposed to head home today. So, oh, cool, Sean. That'll be awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I think it was Atlanta Music Festival yesterday or today. Yesterday, I think. And then, yeah, he heads out to Costa Rica this week, I believe.
I was just going to say, didn't his band just get a shout out from Rolling Stone or something recently?
I think you were thinking of someone else. I think you're thinking of Sean's band getting the shout out from Guitar World this week.
Well, either way, somebody got a shout out that was in and around the people that we know. So that was cool, though.
Yeah, no worries, Chris. I was thinking, yeah, we're pretty close to wrapping it up anyways here.
Yeah, just so I don't starve to death.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Hey, I was eating at 7 o'clock tonight, so it was literally I finished eating and I started sending out invites to you guys. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Central, so I was like, it's a little early for dinner. Yeah. And now I'm like, I gotta eat something.
I got one more guitar, man.
All right, you got one more guitar. Awesome.
Talked about it before. Hang on.
And if you guys have any other questions in the chat, feel free to ask away. And just while Todd's doing that, Terry, I believe we have a link to your channel down below in my friends list there. I'll put a link as well to Guitar Pit's channel afterwards in the description, as well as Todd as well. Why not? In the meantime, if you're not already subscribed to these guys, they've been in the chat. So, you know, click on those 3 dots and
see a lot of familiar names.
Yeah.
I think I know these guys.
Yeah, it's a good community. Let's see what else we got coming up on the channel real quick. We got the round table 1 week from tonight. That'll be myself, Guitar Hack, JJ's House of Jams, possibly Richie, and Guitar Girl's going to be joining us as well. All right, Todd, I'm going to present you.
This is that one I told you with the fake Bigsby on it that I built.
Oh, right.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's got P90s in it, and then look at the back of this. This I had a bunch of house paint on it. I had to strip this body. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, I see it. That's nice. I dig it.
The neck's the same way.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Somebody decided they should have house paint on it, painted it white with a brush.
Oh, God.
Oh, brutal.
Kind of a Waddy Witchell thing going on.
It was a lot of work, but I think it came out pretty good.
Yeah.
Looks awesome.
Let's see. I'm also going to mention 1 week from tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. We have Mahil from Studio Shamil coming on out of Belgium, along with Andy, the Guitar Geek, out of the UK. So we're going to do that. November 11th is open. Well, it's not open. We have some stuff we're looking at. November 12th, we have Broken Chains. If you guys know Jimmy, Broken Chains from Johnny Bean's channel, among others. He's going to come on, show some stuff. November 18th, narrowing down a guest. And November 19th, we have Henning Pauly coming back.
Always a good time.
Oh yeah, yeah. No filter on that, man. Love it.
None. None.
So yeah, so we got a bunch of stuff coming up over the next month on the channel, which is awesome. Of course, then the Thursday night shows, and who knows where I'll pop up on other channels as well.
Cool.
You're a busy dude, Ben. I don't know how you do it.
No wife, no kids.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
All right, I've put link to the Guitar Pits channel and Todd's channel.
Awesome. Thank you, Terry.
No problem.
Yeah, I was saying, Todd, I'm going to put links to both your channels down below as well. So, yeah. So if you guys just want to hang on the line for a minute, we'll wrap things up. We want to thank everyone that came in the chat tonight. If you're new to the channel, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It's very appreciative. And I want to thank, of course, Terry, Chris, and Todd all for joining me tonight. Hey, we got Chad Tobin just jumps in for it. See, everyone jumps in right at the end. Eh? All right, rewind back about 90 minutes, Chad. But it's great seeing you, buddy, live. And yeah, you know, thanks to the three of you for coming on. It's been an awesome subscriber hangout. We'll probably be doing another one maybe in November, depending on if I fill up the last couple of dates. If not, we'll be doing a subscriber hangout one of those nights. And as I always say, hold those doors open. Let that guy in heading in traffic. Do good things, and good things will happen to you because karma is real, folks. I'm living a dream here. So until tomorrow with Larry Mitchell, I hope to see you all tomorrow night. Rock on and peace, everyone. Cheers.
Yeah, have a good one, folks.
Yeah.